119 laps complete. Nearly 300 miles in the Daytona 500. It is sweatshirt weather and a brisk wind blowing there at the flag stand as Mark Martin leads Dale Jarrett. While we were away, number 7, Michael Waltrip.
Michael Waltrip out there loses the back of the car from the draft off of the 3 car on the high side. You see him go on the flat. He fights for control. Jeff Burton saying hold it just behind him. He gets it back straight. No harm, no foul.
Good job of driving there, though. That thing could have got away from him awful easy.
What did Jeff Burton see? That's Michael Waltrip just ahead. Whoa.
Yow.
Got those left wheels down below that yellow line and gets it straightened back out, though. And Waltrip continues to run in the 7th position.
Let's ride with him with that Nation's Rent onboard camera. Remember, Waltrip had a bad flip yesterday in the Busch Series 300-miler, but he's okay to go today.
Mike, he's running straight right there. And he comes off the corner. We're riding with Michael Waltrip down the back straightaway. He's glad to be going down that back straightaway, because usually when you lose the back like that in the draft, you don't get it back straight. Just great driving got him corrected there.
300 miles, 200 to home. There's Earnhardt with the 99 of Jeff Burton. Can Earnhardt win an 8th Winston Cup championship?
You know, I think he can. I think there's so many people, though, this year that feel that they have a chance to win the championship. It's going to be tougher than it has been in some of the years that he did win a championship. I think the competition level goes up a little bit every year.
If you ask him, he'll tell you a silly question, but not exactly in those words. He feels he can do it.
Boy, I'm telling you, some of these cars are a little scary to watch. Jeff Burton just lost the back of that car when he fell in behind the 3 car. It wiggled 2 or 3 times, so apparently the tires are getting pretty hot and they're wiggling around just a little more than usual.
Dick Berggren.
Jimmy Pennick is crew chief for Mark Martin, who's leading the race. We're well after the halfway point. You're in the lead. Now what?
Well, now we got to watch our fuel mileage. We want to try to do this one more stop. We had to come in early because we had a cut tire, but we're looking at it pretty close here. We might be able to do it in one stop and stretch this run here.
Okay, Mark is called for just a half-pound change in the tire when he does make that pit stop. To Ralph.
Well, Todd Parrott just got done visiting over here with Robin Pemberton, crew chief for Rusty Wallace. Okay, Robin, what are you guys going to do now?
Pit when it's time to pit. Unfortunately, we got a little bit off on the pit stop. 2/10 on pit road costs us that much time on the racetrack, you know, so we're going to pit somewhere between 145 and 150, and Mark's got to drop off, so the 88's going to be a little bit in trouble by himself for a little bit. So he's got a good car. We got to make all the right moves right now to capitalize on it.
Phil Stevens?
I'm with Kevin Hamlin once again, Dale Earnhardt's crew chief. Kevin, you tell me that these long green flag runs change the handling on the car. The car is better at the beginning of the run than the end of the run. Can you fix that?
We're working towards that direction. We're still just getting a little bit too tight the longer we run. And in the next stop, we're going to make a couple adjustments to see if we can't help that.
Richard Childress, the team owner, also on the headset. He's been talking to Dale throughout the day as well.
Caution flag fluid from his car, noticed by the observers in those 76 balls around the racetrack at each corner. And NASCAR, in the interest of safety, brings out the second caution of the day. You saw on the telemetry, it shut the engine off.
Some front end damage to his Chevrolet. A couple of cars got laps back there. Elliott Sadler and Scott Pruitt got back on the lead lap.
Steve Park liked about a half a car length of getting his lap back.
And here they come behind the Pontiac safety car. Look for pit road to be a feeding frenzy.
Oh, yeah, it's feeding time at the zoo here, and a lot of adjustments on these cars as they head down pit road.
Now the pressure goes on the pit crews to try to get their driver out first.
Top to bottom, leader Mark Martin, second place. Dale Jarrett, third place. Rusty Wallace come into their respective pit stalls. Dick Berggren.
And Jimmy Pennick has just guided his driver down pit road, telling him exactly how far away he was. They are tearing the plastic off the windshield. That'll give him a clear view for the rest of this race. To Ralph Shaheen.
4 tires and fuel for both Rusty Wallace and Dale Jarrett. Rusty Wallace was pushing a little bit coming off of turn 4. A little slow on the left rear for Rusty Wallace, but When they get it fixed, they'll make an air pressure adjustment to Rusty Wallace. Bill Stevens.
Dale Earnhardt is in. Dale Earnhardt is out. They put 4 tires on the car and added more tape to the front of that car. Kevin Hamlin said they hope that'll give it a little bit more downforce and correct that aero push they've been experiencing.
Mark Martin leads them off pit road. There's Ricky Rudd, who picked up a bad push early. The outside pole sitter at black number 28, trying to win his first Daytona 500 in his 23rd try. And at 134 laps, we're under the second caution of the day. We'll be back with you live on CBS after this. Bobby Labonte came into the pits 4th, and now with that penalty, he's back in 24th.
But he came in, took the penalty, went 1 lap, came back in, and topped the fuel off. Wonder if he's thinking about trying to go the rest of the way if this thing goes green the rest of the way.
Well, he's got to run 63, 64 laps.
That's a lot. I can't believe he's run that much.
They're building a new nose there behind pit wall for Tony Stewart to correct those aerodynamic problems, and we're back under green. At lap 137, 63 to go.
Mike talking about Tony Stewart. That's Tony Stewart in the orange car there as he goes by. He has just a little bit of damage on the nose of the car for the people that just joined the telecast. He hit a tire there on pit road, and it didn't hurt it much, but just enough to make the car drive a little weird.
Dick Berggren has more.
Well, Tony Stewart was in great shape before he pushed the nose in on that race car. The thing was just absolutely perfect. They don't dare, however, stop and try and change the nose on this thing. That would just simply take too long. So they're trying to adjust the car on pit stops in other ways to make up for it. But just in case they get an opportunity, they would like to put that new nose on, Mike.
You're looking back from the rear bumper, and you see on that car in the right front of the car behind what happens when you get a little damage in the nose. That's just flapping around there on the right front corner.
That's Wally Dallenbach, and if you want to see what ugly is, that car is ugly. You can see the front moving around, and there it goes up the racetrack, and that's due to the front end damage that he has, not being able to turn and stay down.
Dave Blaney there to the inside, the rookie driver, over sprint car race. And here's our Ford telemetry looking back at Kevin LePage. He's going to get up near 195 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's going down the backstretch into the headwind.
Stewart under Earnhardt at the back of that lead pack.
I see trouble coming, too. I see Jeff Burton right up there. And if he gets up to Mark Martin, that could be a new wrinkle in this race, because they do work very well together.
They're teammates. Jack Roush, the owner of both of those cars.
8-car single file, and then it's double wide down in turn 1. You're with Jeff Burton.
Looking at Dale Jarrett there, second place car, and just in front of him his teammate Mark Martin.
4 Fords, the Pontiac of Burton, the Chevys of Skinner and Earnhardt, then Stewart and Benson in Pontiacs, and Chad Little's Ford rounds out the top 10.